first and foremost, thank you so much for coming on the platform.
Sure.
This is definitely an honor. I appreciate the work that you're doing. And for the viewers who may not recognize you, let them know what your name is, where you're from, and definitely what do you do.
Yeah, my name's Dave Farina. I run a YouTube channel called Professor Dave Explains, largely academic tutorials for students, high school and undergrad students to help them through class. And then I also do a lot of debunking various types of pseudoscience.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. I wish we had more of that when I was in school. You could go to YouTube and, if you're struggling with a subject in particular, you could get a little more help. Now I can ask you this: when did you develop this passion for science?
I was always pretty passionate about like learning and understanding science since I was a little kid. I enjoyed science more than any other subject. Space stuff and dinosaurs when you're a little kid, and then in high school I enjoyed chemistry mainly, other stuff too. And then in college, I decided to study chemistry and really enjoyed that. But also, I guess just culturally have always been upset by science denial and reality denial. People who, whether it's creationists, evangelicals, or whether it's people who just refuse to learn about science. So definitely in starting the channel, has brought my passion to the next level since it's now, my career. But yeah, pretty much always.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. You brought up an interesting point, science denial. Everybody say we in the age of information. We have access to so many things we can learn about, but what's your perspective on that? Do you feel like is it growing science denial? Like you say, people saying the Earth is flat, and dinosaurs never existed, or is it about the same as it always has been?
Yes, science denial is definitely growing. It has been growing since the internet became popular, popularly used by most of the public. And in particular, in the past 5 years, in the post-COVID era, it really has reached a new level. And so we all, many of us, the optimists among us, thought that the internet would make the public smarter, make humans smarter. And it hasn't done that. It's actually done the opposite, because little pockets of conspiratorial thought and science denial that would have been isolated in a small community or relegated to some lunatic screaming on a street corner now can very, very easily pick up steam on the internet, find small communities, build into a movement. And so something absolutely ridiculous like flat Earth can become a little subculture, a little internet subculture that draws more people in once it reaches a certain critical mass. And so that's what we're seeing.
Man, that's unfortunate. And I guess I can ask your opinion on this. I mean, is it like to form a camaraderie, or is it like a money thing? Like, let's make money, or we just want views and a big following, or what is the motivation?
I mean, to those who are propagating the grift, it's a source of income. Depending on what the topic is, it may be more or less money. Flat Earth is not the most lucrative among them because the target pool is not that big. You really have to be totally way out there to fall for it. But there is money. I mean, they do make money off of it. Much more lucrative grifts are things that larger percentages of the public will fall for. So alternative medicine is definitely a super popular one. Just anything that can take advantage of existing biases and willful ignorance in the public, feed them a narrative, an anti-establishment narrative that they want to hear, point them towards something to buy, supplements or whatever it might be, and there you go. There's your income.
Yeah. Now I can ask you this: have you taught in a school, or are you currently teaching, or
Yeah, not currently. I'm a full-time science communicator. Throughout my 20s and into my early 30s, I taught. That was mainly how I would make a living. So the main job I had was teaching organic chemistry at this trade university. So I did that for about 3.5 years. Ultimately, I mean, I enjoyed teaching. I mean, the jobs that I enjoyed were with willing participants. So the teaching at that trade university was the best job I had, because there were adult learners that were really eager to learn, and appreciative when they were taught properly. Other jobs have been not so enjoyable, but it was really nothing but a source of income to me, when I was younger. And so now science communication, having my own channel, my own platform, this is where I found an actual passion for it. So.
Okay. Now I wanted to ask you this, because you cover so many subjects. Do you have like maybe a top 3 or top 5 subjects in particular that are your favorite?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would say chemistry obviously has to be on there, because that is what I studied. So that's what I understand the best. And when you understand something thoroughly, you enjoy learning more about it. So I enjoy broadening my knowledge base in chemistry, definitely. In terms of what really just intrigues me the most, I would say astronomy. I've always loved space stuff since I was a little kid, and I continue to love anything about astronomy or astrophysics. I enjoy learning more about that. After that, I mean, stuff like I don't know, pharmacology is super duper interesting. I've begun learning more about anthropology, biological anthropology, and the evolution of hominid species. That's been super interesting. But beyond that, kind of whatever. There's really no topic that I don't find something. Obviously, astronomy, I'm more interested than like botany or something like that. But there's something intriguing about everything that we study that you can find. So.
Yeah, it's definitely so many things that you could study. Now, have you ever considered, or have you already done any books or documentaries?
I wrote a book. It's called "Is This Wi-Fi Organic? A Guide to Spotting Misleading Science Online," which is very similar to what I do on the channel, just in book form, and for a general public. So very, very dumbed down, very, very basic explanations. Basically what I wish everyone in the world would know, the very, very basics about chemistry, biology, physics. And so yeah, that's the book. Documentary, no, I don't have a lot of resources at my disposal, so it's easy to write a book. Anyone can do that. And the way that I make YouTube content is also very easy. It's very low production value, so I can do that by myself. In terms of a documentary, you need money, so I can't do it.
Yeah, definitely. Documentaries can be quite pricey. I was looking into it. Like I wanted to do a documentary about like the 1960s and the 1970s, and basically I would need like archive news reels, and they was charging like I think like $3,000 for every 60 seconds. So if you got an hour or 2 hour, what I'm saying, worth of footage,
Mhm.
it add up.